Afternoon again, everyone. This is quite a special little camp today. It's going to be the first wild camp that I've actually done in the snow. I did once sleep in my mate's back garden when it had been snowing after a house party, but doesn't really count. So yeah, this is a pretty good one so far. I'm in Buckinghamshire, so a different county as well. I've not really explored Buckinghamshire before. I'm at Wendover Woods, so it's not far from Aylesbury and Wendover itself. And of course we've been having some sort of snow, bit naff snow really where I am in Essex the last few days. But up here in the Chiltern Hills, they've had some pretty good snow. Don't know if it's forecast for any snow tonight, but the plan is, I'm on my own by the way, plan is we're going to try and wild camp here at Boddington Hill fault. It's a massive Iron Age hill fault stretching out sort of that way. It's taken me quite a while to walk up here because I'm carrying a ton of gear and then some stuff down there as well. And you know, it was a pretty steep section uphill. Basically they'd shut the car parks and all the roads and the tracks leading up to them, so people have had to walk all the way up here. So I've done well over a mile or two already, and the walk that I was going to be doing, so it's just down here on the floor, is a country walking magazine route. It's 7 miles and it's meant to start from the main car park. Well, I had to walk to the main car park, so I parked out sort of on the main road like everyone else has done. It's Forestry Commission owned here, so might have to be a little bit stealthy with our camping. Got my Lomo 3x3 metre tarp and my Jack Wolfskin Gossamer tent. I'm going to try and have a fire in like my little fire box thing that I've made. I've got it from IKEA. So yeah, 7 mile walk. I'm probably not going to get all that done because I've got work tomorrow. And it's about an hour's drive from me, so yeah, that could be a bit tricky. But what I'm going to do instead is follow the Forestry Commission's Hill Fault Trail, which is about 2 miles. So I'm going to follow it for a way, look for somewhere decent to set up camp sort of off the main path, and then I'll complete it in the morning and come back to the car. So anyway, enough talking, let's get walking. Stretching out before us are the remains of Boddington Camp, which is an Iron Age hill fault. It covers an area of 10 hectares, equivalent to around 12 football pitches. A hill fault is a settlement defended by banks and ditches, often constructed on a high vantage point. Boddington Hill fault is surrounded on 3 sides by steep chalk slopes. The main entrance would have been where we are stood now, and there may have been another entrance in the southwestern corner. When originally constructed, there would have been a 4-metre timber palisade or a fence on top of the banks. Boddington Hill fault is called a univalate hill fault, which means it has 1 ditch and bank. Hill faults were constructed and lived in by the tribal communities which lived in Britain during the Bronze and Iron Ages, which is approximately 3,000 years ago. Although there isn't much to see at the start of this walk, if you go around to the eastern edge of the hill, you'll find the banks are very well preserved and up to 3.6 metres high in places. Hill faults like Boddington are rare, with only around 150 across Britain. Ironically, the biggest threat to Boddington Hill fault are trees. The Forestry Commission is working with local volunteers from an environmental charity, the Chiltern Society, Wendover Woods Conservation Group, who have been clearing vegetation which was potentially damaging to the remains of the hill fault. Over time they will remove all the younger trees, leaving only the established beech and oak. Probably just about make out in the distance just how high up we are. I say this is the Chilterns. It's one of the highest areas nearest to me really, I would say. It's probably, yeah, I mean East Anglia's pretty flat, Kent's got a few high bits, but the Chilterns are probably the highest area for me really. I've got in here, as I say, my like firebox, which is like an IKEA cutlery tin thingy with holes in it. It's like a metal tin with holes in it. You've seen it before in some of the videos. I've got 2 fire logs. I've got a Trangia in there. I've got the Outkick Kraku gas stove in there. So I've got choices of stoves. I've got 2.5 litres of plain water and half a litre of a bottle of flavoured water. I've got a USMRE ration pack again, a few extra snacks and a few extra hot meals, loads of hot drinks. I've got some stuff for breakfast like porridge, coffee, hot chocolate, protein bars, so I should be alright on that front. And it's my 3F UL rucksack. I think it's 40 plus 60 litres, or is it 45 plus? I can't remember. I think it's 40 plus 60, and that was about 45 quid, you know, brand new with the tags on it, off of eBay. Got it from a UK dealer, because I think it's Japanese. I'm not sure, I've no idea anyway, but it's a good rucksack and it's perfect for winter at the moment because I can carry so much stuff in it. It's got some massive pockets on the hip belts to swallow up just about everything. There's a big mesh compartment on the front and some bungee cords, and it's got straps everywhere. The the wand pockets for holding water bottles, but they can swallow up like the biggest Nalgene bottle going. You can strap your pad to the outside so you can turn it into a frame. It is a frameless rucksack. I've got an inflatable pad in there as well. Yeah, and it fits all my gear really. I'm going to use it through the winter, and then once the summer comes and the nicer weather is here, then I'll be able to take less gear and go a bit lighter weight and use some of my smaller rucksacks like my Osprey Talon, or got an Osprey Strata, stuff like that. I'm really liking Osprey rucksacks at the moment, along with this 3F UL, I think it's called, something like that. Yeah, I think it's gone 3 o'clock now, so probably we're not going to have too much more daylight left, so I'm going to carry on along this footpath. I think it literally just loops around. If I stand up, I'll show you. I think it goes around there, and then there's this bit up here on like the banks of the hill fault, and I think this bit in here there's no footpath, and I think that's probably where no one goes unless they lose their dog or something. So I'm thinking I'm going to camp somewhere in there, and I'll be out of view, out of sight, because the only sort of people you're going to get are going to be walking down here really. So that's the plan anyway. So I'm going to carry on a little bit further, because I think it sort of goes out to a point over there, so I want to see sort of what's there, and then maybe head into this middle bit and find somewhere to camp anyway. So yeah, that's the plan anyway. You need walking poles for this, by the way. It's a tricky one, especially carrying that weight. That's probably the heaviest rucksack I've ever carried, I think. So these are new actually, while I mention it. They're, I don't know if you can see that, they're Outkit poles. I think they're carbon fibre. They are ridiculously light. I thought my OEX poles were light, and then I got these, and I got these at a steal on eBay. I think I paid about £12 for them. It was something ridiculous, and I stole it off of them. I know it was under 20 quid anyway, and they probably should have cost a lot more than that. So yeah, winner winner, chicken dinner. Anyways, right, I'm waffling on a bit, apologies. The high chalk spur that Boddington Camp is constructed on was an obvious place for a hill fort, having steep slopes on 3 sides and an almost 360-degree view of the surrounding countryside. As well as protection, hill forts were communities, often used for industry such as pottery making and storage of food supplies and animals like sheep and cattle. The fort would have dominated the surrounding landscape and been a visible symbol of power and importance for the tribe or community who constructed it. We're currently standing at the southwest entrance of Boddington Hill Fort. Imagine it is 2,500 years ago. The trees of Wendover Woods disappear as a wooden palisade appears on top of the bank, receding to your right. Wood smoke drifts up from the thatched roundhouses inside of the fort. Children run and play, and you can imagine people making pottery and milking cattle. A hill fort was a symbol of power, importance and protection. I've come off of the hill fort trail path over the original ditches and ramparts of the hill fort and walked into sort of the centre of the fort itself, not too far from a disused reservoir, it says on the OS map, and we're amongst some fairly dense trees to allow cover, but not so dense that you can't pitch anything. And I found a little spot amongst sort of like a small group of trees and some sort of lean-tos and stuff here that will give me a bit more sort of cover from I suppose wind, although it's not actually windy up here, he says at the moment. But I'm thinking, it will sort of keep me out of sight of people. I can't really see any footprints through this bit, so apart from deer footprints, but that's it. So I don't really think anyone walks through this bit, so fingers crossed. I can just about cross my fingers, it's that cold. Fingers crossed, we should be alright. So I've got the stuff down there, and it's about 3:45 now, so it's going to start getting dark probably around 4:30, 5 o'clock, so I'm thinking I'll get set up while I've still got some daylight. It's a pretty cool setting though. If you've ever watched Band of Brothers, the HBO series, it was Tom Hanks and Steven Spielberg directed it. It was sort of like off the back of the film Saving Private Ryan. If you've watched the series Band of Brothers, of course it's a true life story and stuff. If you've seen like the episodes when they're in Bastogne in Belgium in the Ardennes forest during the Second World War, and they're under heavy kraut fire, and the Germans are everywhere and they're surrounded, and they're having to sort of dig foxholes, and it's ridiculously cold, it's snowing, and they're in this woodland. It reminds me of that, but without the Germans, of course. I think it's gone 4 o'clock, and I've got the Lomo 3x3 metre tarp set up, kind of like a simple kind of ridge line going out to this tree here, and then going back to that one in the centre of the screen. Whoops. And I've sort of used bungee cords, guy ropes, bit of everything really. Cleared myself a little space under here, and I'm crouching down at the moment, but I can sit down in my chair absolutely fine. I'm just debating which side to have the tent on. If I crouch down here, you can see the tarp comes down a little bit lower on this side, which I think is the side the wind's going to be coming from, so I'm thinking maybe have the tent there, and then this bit is a little bit higher, a bit more open, so I could possibly sit out here. And if the wind does come through from that way, because sort of that's the edge of the hill fort, it sort of goes round in like a loop, like a tongue, and the tip of it is down that way, so I'm thinking the wind's going to come that way, but who knows. And the dense forest is sort of that way really, and the footpath sort of encircles us. We're probably a couple of 100 yards from it, far enough away that I don't think anyone's going to come through this way or know that I'm here, but I can still hear in the distance dogs and the odd person. But to be honest, I haven't heard anyone for the last half hour, 45 minutes. With the setup I've got, I should be absolutely toasty. There's no wind at the moment, and I don't think there's likely to be. The only thing we could get is maybe some snow or sort of sleety kind of rain. Other than that, just going to be chilly, innit? So okay, it's gone 4:30 now. It's getting on to about 5 o'clock. Just heard my first owl. And as you can see, I've got Jack Wolfskin Gossamer 1, old Jackie, set up now, and got my sleep system in there, my Go Light Down sleeping bag. So I've got the yellow OEX Fulcrum EV inflatable full length pad. It's my winter pad of choice. It's so comfy, so warm. I've got a little cheap Quechua full length foam silver coated pad underneath that, just to sort of bounce some body heat back and just protect the mat really. I've got some stuff just in the doorway there. My rucksack I've managed to fit in a carrier bag. I've got a little cider in there, my MRE, which is going to be my dinner, a few hot drinks and stuff, warm spare clothes in there. And this is a good winter tent. It pitches all in one, so you don't have to get the inside of the tent wet first, you just pitch it all up in one go. It stood up to some pretty bad weather. I probably should have used it at the Devil's Dyke on the South Downs Way. It's a really good tent, very robust, low profile, and yeah, I've got the Lomo tarp over the top of it, so yeah, sort of double protection. It's going to be pretty toasty. Got my chair, I'm just setting up my table, my little fire. I'm probably not going to have that until a little bit later on, just in case there is anyone about. So I'm just going to get the Trangier out, and I'm going to do a hot drink, do a Galaxy hot chocolate, and then I'll have the cider. I just want a hot drink first really. But I've earned that cider though, walking here with all the gear, climbing up the hill, setting up. So yeah, I'm going to sit down for 5 minutes, get this set up, get a hot drink on the go, and just have a little rest. Been one of those weeks. I've got the fire going, so I found this ages ago. I don't know where I found it, or I found it on a beach, or did I find it at Who Island? I can't remember where I found it anyway. It was this old little mini grill with some old legs that looked like they were going to fall off it. Brought that along, and I've just basically set that up and then put my IKEA cutlery drainage tin thing on top of it, put half a fire log in it with some like wood wool and some tinder, and just got that lit. It's so warm. It's throwing out some really nice heat, nice light. And then I've just used the Trangier with my little Esbit triangle thing and the OEX windshield, and I've made myself a Galaxy hot chocolate. This is another new addition as well. Got it from Poundland, I think, in Romford. It's similar to Owen's Rave Glove, Owen Albion Camping. It's basically like a hot glove that you can handle anything with. I don't know why I bought it. I thought it'd be useful for sort of when I'm having a fire and things like that. Apparently it's flame retardant. We'll soon see. And I've got the softy trousers on now, and I instantly feel 10 times warmer. So you can get these from like army surplus shops, or you get them on eBay. Just search army softy trousers. They're reversible, so it's like sand colour or this green colour, and I don't know if it must be synthetic, but they are ridiculously warm. And you can get them from anywhere between like £12 and £13 and right up to like 25 quid, something like that. And they pack down to sort of the size of like, I don't know, like a softball, or maybe like the size of, like a small watermelon, something like that. And yeah, I got these from Owen Albion Camping for Christmas. Still using them, mate. Cheers. Yeah, ridiculously warm. This is a size small. You don't want to get a bigger size. Most people will fit into a size small, believe it or not, because they're made to be extra big so that they can go over all your other clothes, like combat trousers and stuff like that for the army. So they would just put them on straight over, and they zip up. So yeah, they come up really, really big. Like, they're really baggy on me. But yeah, any sort of size bigger and they'd be too big. So yeah, probably a small will suit most people. That's why you see on eBay it's really hard to find softy trousers in a size small, because that's the size that seems to fit just about everyone. So yeah, I recommend those. I really would recommend getting those for like your colder camps and stuff. They're absolutely brilliant. So next thing I want to talk about, I've got this Crowman Sussex cider. This one was given to me by Will, or Wilston Velo. He's got a channel now, guys, so please check it out. Very, very funny guy, my mate Will. You've probably seen him on a few of the videos before. And yeah, he's currently doing a lot of like boiling water videos, because like just single shot videos of him boiling water, and it's both funny, educational and heartwarming, I would say. They're really good. The reason why he's having to do them like that is because he can't edit anything at the moment, so he's just having to post it as is. But I actually think they're really good like that. So yeah, check him out, Wilston Velo. If you go on my channel homepage, there's a little section where I recommend certain channels. I'm pretty sure he's in that. Also, I want to give another shout out to my mate Ben from Londoner Outdoors. Of course, he's now got a channel and he's hit 100 subscribers, I believe. I think it was 99 last time he told me. It's probably 100 now. So congratulations, mate. This cider's for you, and it's for you as well, Will. Cheers. So yeah, Crowman cider from Sussex, Norman Hunt and Sons, established in 1935. Where does it say? Made from traditional cider apples grown and fermented on our farm in 1066 country of East Sussex, full of wonderful varieties such as Harry Masters Jersey, Dabinet, Kinston Black, Brown's Apple, Yarlington Mill and Coat Jersey. 6%, sort of not overly sweet, not overly, I don't know, dry. It's yeah, it's a decent little cider. Quite happy with that. I like the artwork on it as well. So yeah, it was a box of a few Norman Hunt Conquest ciders. I drank the rest on our Christmas camp last year, but I saved this one. And yeah, I'd say this is possibly the best one of the lot. It's not too shabby. So yeah, cheers Ben, cheers Will, cheers everyone out there. Here's to you. This is my first meal of camp, and it's a Aptonia, like from Decathlon, dehydrated meal, and basically it's just like mashed potatoes with some little bits of beef and some herbs in, and it's really tasty. I've had this one before, to be fair. Yeah, it's not too bad. I've still got my USMRE to eat. I'm just having the fire really for warmth mainly and ambience. My little Woodcrafters fire reflector windshield is working a treat, with my multi-mat as well. And then I've got the camera tripod, and I've just hung my waterproof over trousers up and my trekking poles, my little trekking towel. Just sort of had a bit of a windbreak, and it is working. I've just been sort of sitting here thinking, really, it's pretty cool to think that there was once like a settlement here. It being an Iron Age hill fort, there would have been little wooden mud huts. Would have been a whole community, families here and stuff. It would have been a good vantage point as well. You know, it's high ground, so you could see in all directions, see any potential invaders approaching and stuff. Would have been pretty cool. But of course these trees wouldn't have been here. Probably would have been completely open land up on top of this hill, Boddington Hill. So I can imagine the winters were probably pretty harsh, and they would have done the same thing, had a fire as well, or fires should I say. But yeah, it's like early man's first attempts at civilization and settling down and farming and stuff like that, and having a permanent place to live rather than being nomadic and stuff. And really the first farmers and the first settlers were sort of during the Neolithic period, the New Stone Age. The Iron Age came later. You know, it's basically all those periods of time are, you know, the names based on what materials they were using. Of course, Stone Age, New Stone Age, Neolithic, you know, they was using a lot of flint tools, flint arrowheads, axes, stuff like that, and flint would have been something that you trade. It was like money, it was wealth to them if you produce flint, like at Grimes Graves in Norfolk, or is it Suffolk? It's somewhere near there anyway. Then of course the Bronze Age, so they'd learnt how to make bronze, and that's when things really started kicking off. And then of course you had the Iron Age. It changed a lot of things, you know. Then the bloody Romans invaded, and that was it. So probably not an accurate depiction of history that, but it is something that fascinates me. And of course, if you've watched a lot of the videos on the channel, you'll know that I love history, so that's why I'm here. It's not just a wild camp, it's about immersing yourself in history, to spend a night on an Iron Age hill fort. I'm not quite living like Iron Age man would have done, but I've got a few luxuries. I wonder what they would have thought of cider. They'd have probably loved it. They'd have probably got absolutely shit-faced. But yeah, no, it's very interesting, this area. There's a lot of history. I'm on my last half a fire log, so I've burnt up 2 fire logs in total, and that will probably see me through for another hour or so, which will give me enough time to have a look at this MRE, US MRE. It's menu number 6, beef tacos. So this is like my main meal for tonight. Once I've had this and the fire's burnt down, I'm going to get in the tent and just sort of wind down, and I'm aiming to try and get a bit of an early night so that I can get up sort of a bit earlier and get packed up and get out of here tomorrow morning. It's about 9:15 now. The temperature is dropping. I've checked the weather forecast. Apparently in the early hours of the morning it's meant to drop as low as -7 here, so whether that's entirely accurate I don't know. That's in Wendover, so we'll see. Anyway, this could be interesting. So yeah, so the MRE, so we have got, let's empty it out. I've included a hot chocolate in there because it comes with an accessory packet that has a sachet of coffee in, the genial coffee, which I know to be not the best coffee, so I'll mix the hot chocolate with that. It does come with creamer and some sugar, some toilet roll, some chewing gum. I think that one's cinnamon, I'm not sure. There's a wet wipe in there, some iodized salt as usual, little paper book and matches, and we've got a beverage powder which is orange in there, so that should be good. We've got some cheese spread. I actually really like this stuff. Everyone says they prefer the peanut butter. I actually think this is alright. That's going to go with our main meal, which is beef taco, the main. We've got an FRH, or a flameless ration heater, to use with that. MRE spoon. We've got a beverage bag. A side to go with the beef tacos is the Santa Fe rice and beans. Sounds interesting. Cardboard sleeve that you hold the main in. It's got your nutrition information on as well. We've got some plain tortillas for the beef tacos, of course, so the cheese spread will go in that as well. And then finally, as a little snack, we've got a nut raisin mix with pan coated chocolate discs. So I'm guessing it's sort of almost like chocolate buttons really, with some nuts and raisins. Yeah, so that's our food anyway. So enough yakking, let's get snacking. Okay, bear with me on this. The phone can't be screwed to the tripod, so I've sort of had to fix it on there with like an elastic band. It's very Heath Robinson, so yeah, we'll have to do the best we can with this. So we've got our plain tortillas, we've got the beef taco. Here we go. Oh, it looks lovely. Don't know if you can see that at all, but that is looking something else. It'll probably give me the 2 bob bits and a bit of indigestion, but you know what, I'm hungry and I just need hot food, so I'm not too fussed really. Right, I'm try not to put too much in this time. Also warmed up the cheese spread and kind of liquefied it a bit, so at least it'll be easier to apply, but I don't know what it's going to come out like. Still coming out a bit lumpy and stuff, although it's sort of re-solidified a little bit. Looks even more like pus this time. Right, and then the beef looks a little bit runny. Oh, this is where I really need a tray or something. Didn't bring that with me this time. Look at this beef though. It looks decent. I reckon we can probably get, looks like there's some peppers in it. I reckon we could probably get maybe 2 or 3 spoonfuls in. No more than that. Try not to overfill it. I can still never manage to fold these properly. This is going to be messy. That's really good. I'm making such a mess here. Apologies. Yeah, slightly spiced beef. I'll probably go to bed stinking of beef and cheese. The cheese spread totally complements the beef. You can't get a lot of beef in these tortillas, and really they give you quite a lot for 2 tortillas, so I'm thinking maybe they could do with maybe more tortillas. I don't know, but maybe next time I have a menu like this I'm going to bring more tortillas with me, so I've got extra. A meal I had earlier, it just kind of felt and tasted like mashed potatoes. It wasn't anything special, it wasn't a proper meal. This feels like a proper meal. This is really good. Now let's get our other tortilla out. Use up last this cheese spread, which is re-solidifying very quickly. It's been very quiet, very peaceful, and it just feels weird doing a solo one on my own. Haven't done one for such a long time, and I don't know, I think the more camps I've done with other people, I think I've realised I probably enjoy those a bit more. I mean, I don't mind doing a solo camp every now and then, but like when I used to do them on my own all the time, I don't know, I suppose I was just used to it, but I couldn't do that now. I think it's just nice sharing it with other people. You know, if any of you's watching are new to wild camping or thinking of getting into it and stuff, you know, and you live fairly locally to me, you know, in other words, you're not like in Scotland or you know, somewhere like that, or abroad, then, you know, let me know. You know, we could arrange some sort of a meet-up or something, or if you're looking at doing your first camp, your first wild camp, you know, let me know. We could do a meet-up or something, and, you know, and help you out a little bit, or just give you a bit of moral support, so to speak. So, just an idea. Let us know what you think. Right, let's get some more of this lovely beef in here. Right. I just don't know how people roll them. I can't fold the end over. Oh, it's just coming through the end now. That'll do. Oh, it's absolutely lovely. I forgot the Santa Fe rice and beans. Let's see what this is like. I'll probably cool down a bit because, like I say, I got so sidetracked with those beef tacos, or sort of spicy, sort of hot smell to it. It kind of looks exactly the same as the beef. But yeah, some beans in there. Don't know what sort of beans. Not baked beans, put it that way. I reckon this is going to be pretty spicy. You're probably all screaming at the screen what it is. I've not had it before, so here we go. I don't know what it is, but I really like it. Oh, I don't know if it's just because it's cold out here and, you know, everything tastes better, but this is good. It's whatever the sauce is that's like that the rice is mixed in is just amazing. I don't know if is it cheese or I don't know. I need to broaden my horizons with food. Apologies for talking with my mouth full, but that's something else. That's as good as the beef tacos, definitely. I've had some of the orange juice or orange flavoured drink powder as well. It's sort of settling on the bottom a bit. Very bright orange colour, but it's pretty tasty. Yeah, it's nice. I've had it before anyway. Quite like it. So the final food in this USMRE is the nut and raisin mix with the pan coated chocolate discs, which may as well be called Smarties or M&Ms, I suppose. They look more like Smarties to me. Sorry, I have to have the flash on the camera so that you can see, but of course the flash is whitening it out, so it's a bit annoying anyway. But yeah, so we've got, looks like some almonds, maybe cashews, Brazil nuts, peanuts. And this is what I'm talking about with the basically like Smarties. Yeah, they're just like chocolate inside of them. Be a good little trail mix. I'm inside Jackie Wolfie, and it's pretty toasty in here now. So the ration pack, the MRE, was pretty good all in all, and that definitely helped keep me warm. The Santa Fe rice and beans was a surprise, really. I really enjoyed that. The beef tacos were pretty good as well, and yeah, hot drink went down well. I've got some of the nut and raisin and the like Smarties trail mix left over. Got about 3/4 of a litre left of water. I tried boiling up some snow earlier on, but literally 750ml pot full up with snow only gave me about 150ml of water, and I thought, it's just, I can't be bothered. I've got enough water, I should be fine. I've got enough to do like a hot drink in the morning and some protein porridge, and then I've got a few protein bars and like those fruit smoothie puree things that you can get from Decathlon. I bought a load of those. So yeah, I should be absolutely fine, and hopefully I'll be going out of here carrying a lot less weight, so yeah, should be good. Weather still seems pretty calm outside, it's temperature's just dropping, so yeah, it's probably, I'd say, about 0 at the moment, maybe just below that. It's getting on to about midnight now, so I'm gonna sign off for the night, get some sleep. I'll speak to you in the morning. Good morning everyone, it's 9:10. I woke up at about 7, 7:15 when my alarm went off, and it was freezing out. It's warmed up a little bit now, but it took me a long time to kind of get warm enough to get out of the tent. But on the whole though, I think in the end I drifted off to sleep and woke up at about 12:30 last night. Saw the time and went back to sleep, and then I basically slept right through until 7, 7:15 this morning. So I had a good like 7 to 8 hours sleep. A couple of times I sort of woke up in the night and was sort of turning over and stuff, and it was a little bit chilly. I mean, there was a couple of cold spots to begin with, but after a while my body heat just warmed up the sleeping bag, and I was pretty toasty. But I did sleep with my head inside the sleeping bag, and the sleeping bag cinched up around the head most of the night, so it was a little bit colder, but I still slept pretty well. I've had breakfast already. I've had like a Cliff Builder protein bar, chocolate mint, hot chocolate and a coffee, mocha. and I've had some banana flavoured protein porridge as well. I'm starting to pack up. I've got my rucksack behind me, just clearing the rubbish up and dismantling the fire reflector. The tent's all emptied out. I've just been sort of getting some photos and whatnot and sort of having a look around. It looks absolutely lovely here in the morning. As the sun came up, it was just coming through the trees. It was quite mystical really. There's a few gunshots going off in the distance. Hopefully they don't get any closer. And I haven't really heard anyone yet, he says. Not seen any dog walkers yet. We'll see. We'll probably see them once I head back to the main path. So I'm probably going to head off that way behind me, and pick up the hill fault trail path again. It's going to take me round the other side of the hill fault, back out to the start to the information board, and then I'll be walking back up to Wendover Woods main car park and like the information centre, the cafe. They've got toilets there as well. Go Apes there as well. The thing where you can like abseil and swing through the trees and that. I've done it before at Thetford. It's pretty good fun actually. Yeah, so I've got to walk past all of that, and then it's the long walk down the access road, back out to the main road where I parked the car, where everyone was parking the cars yesterday. Don't know if I mentioned, because of the snow, the Forestry Commission shut the car park and all the access roads, so everyone was having a walk quite a way uphill to actually get to the main car park, to access the woods and the hill fault and stuff. So as you can imagine, that was pretty hard work carrying the stuff I had, but I made it. But as a result, it means I haven't had to pay. So it was going to be £8 for an all-day pass, and I don't think you could park there overnight anyway. So that's actually, I've done all right there, and they've got number plate readers as well. So I've got away with one there. So thank you, snow. Sometimes it is of use. So yeah, I thought I've landed on my feet here with this one. Anyways, I'm going to carry on getting packed up. I'm going to get the tent packed away and then take the tarp down and get a move on. I'm keeping these softy trousers on though at the moment. It's too cold. Anyways, granted, I know I've waffled on a lot more on this video than normal. It's because I'm on my own, I think, and I just need someone to talk to. So, and I just thought it'd give me opportunity to sort of have a chat with you and stuff, really. So yeah, but it's been nice. There's the gunshots going off. Anyways, right, I'm gonna get this lot packed up. Okay, well, I'm all packed up. I've just got to put the chair away. I've just been sort of sitting here, sort of chilling out, no pun intended. No, it's actually warmed up a bit. And I've seen, I think, what I believe to be a muntjac deer, a few robins, and I've heard the odd sort of dog barking, but that's all for the wildlife really. There was a lot of owls last night, and some foxes I think I heard, yeah. But what I've done, I've sort of swept most of the leaves back over sort of where I was, and I've of course put the fire out, dismantled my fire reflector and stuff, spread it all about, buried the ashes, made sure they were out, taken all the rubbish with me. That's in my rucksack down there. I mean, it still kind of looks, I know what you're going to say, it looks messy, but of course there's nothing I can really do about the snow. I've sort of tried to mix it in with the leaves, but it's always going to look like a bit of disturbed ground anyway, because of course everything else is white, so not a lot I can do, but I've done what I can anyway. So that's the main thing, is leave no trace, or as little trace as possible. So yeah, I'm going to get the chair packed away now and then head off, carry on with the rest of the hill fault trail. I'll show you the journey back a little bit, back to the car, and then I'll sign off there. So I'll chat to you in about It'll be just under an hour's time hopefully. And here we are, we're back out at the start of the Hill Fault Trail, back at the information sign. So that's where I started yesterday, and I've just come from that way, and literally behind the sign is like the kind of, that's a diamond shape, something like that, of the Hill Fault. So we're here, and I walked past the south entrance yesterday, past the information panel, and then I think I entered the Hill Fault somewhere here and camped somewhere back where that mark is there. So I was pretty much camped bang in the centre of the Hill Fault. Pretty cool. Just come up of the access road here, nearly back at the car, but I've got to show you this view. How amazing is that? You can just see how high up we are. Well, as you can see, I've made it out of the woods here, and you can see everyone is parking up on the roads because the car park's still shut and the snow's obviously still too bad. But it's one long walk, I'm telling you. It's over an hour easily, and the start of the walk was right up there, so I had to do a lot of walking just to even start it, but my car's somewhere over here. Here we are, just see my car here. There we go, yes! Well, that is the end of this one, guys. I'm so glad to be back at the car. I'm going to get the heater on, and it's about an hour's drive home, and then I've got to go off to work. But really good little micro adventure, little trip out. It's good to do a solo one again. I haven't done one for such a long time, and yeah, feels really different. So there not being anyone else there to chat to and stuff, but it gave me more time to sort of get stuff sorted and make a really good little camp set up there. I was really pleased with it. Interesting weather conditions, like I say, it's the first wild camp I've done in the snow, and whereas we didn't have any snow actually fall during the night, there was still lots of it about here in Buckinghamshire, so really good. Anyways, I better get a move on. Just want to say a big thank you for watching and for subscribing, leaving some really nice comments and stuff like that. And yeah, I hope the videos still inspire you to get into wild camping, get outside, walking, exploring, all that sort of stuff. So until next time, take care of yourselves, look after each other, stay safe, and get out there. Cheers guys, thank you very much, see you again soon, bye, bang in.